Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Art Noonan. I happen to be on the NCAT Board of Directors, and I also work for Northwestern Energy, one of the sponsors of the event here today. And those two things give me the unique privilege to be able to introduce our next speaker. And for those of us in Montana who have followed him, we know him as someone that has great Montana and Northwest values, but are willing to express them in new, creative, constructive, and courageous ways. And that's certainly the theme of this convention as well. Particularly proud of his work in terms of energy efficiency in government, in the protection of the environment, and in the protection of the laws in this state that help us with alternative energy. He is definitely a governor for the 21st century, and my privilege to introduce Governor Steve Bullock.
I appreciate both the invitation to speak and that Art introduced me. If you notice, Art and I are wearing the exact same shirts, so I don't know if that was sort of thinking through. Can you hear me in back? Oh, good, good. But I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today with you. And before I really kick off into the remarks, I think I'd be remiss in some respects if I didn't express kind of the Montana pride that we have for the National Center for Appropriate Technologies. They've really done wonderful work over the years in serving economically disadvantaged, not only Montanans, but people across the country, and been doing that since the mid-1970s. Well, the primary focus of the organization really has changed with the changing times. The work that they've done continues to really make an impact. And its mission of utilizing technology to combat poverty, that hasn't changed since those 1970s. So we're proud of the work that they've done, continue to look forward to even bigger and better things as you go forward. But also, more than just NCAT, the work that each and every one of you are doing is important. Not just for the economically disadvantaged among us, but really for the future health of our overall nation. In the Northern Rockies, we often feel the effects of climate change that may not be readily apparent to people in other parts of the country. Last month, we experienced an above normal run of winter temperatures during what's traditionally been a very cold part of our Montana seasons. While our current temperatures are more in line with historical patterns, we actually had rain last month, again experiencing precipitation in different forms at different times of the year. Additionally, our spring seasons are starting earlier, and the warmer temperatures overall are affecting those blue ribbon fisheries as well as our opportunities to recreate on Montana's rivers and streams. There's very few among us, very few among us at least, that aren't serving in the legislature or Congress that would argue that our climate isn't changing. There's simply too much evidence to the contrary. Unfortunately, it also seems, though, that we often spend too much time trying to assign blame and not nearly enough time and resources trying to address the issues. And as governor, I'm not interested in assigning blame. I'm more interested in finding ways all concerned can work together to ensure a vibrant economy coupled with a healthy environmental future. A future that allows my 3 kids and my someday future grandkids to enjoy Montana's seasons and the Montana outdoors that I grew up enjoying as well. It's clear to me and everyone working to reduce the social and economic impacts of climate change that the work that you're doing here and that you gather for, the information that's shared during this conference, really is part of that long-term solution. And make no mistake that the seemingly intractable problems do have solutions. It's not a solution that one person or one entity is going to go out and decree. It really is a solution made of many parts coming together toward a common goal. And the diversity of interests that gather for a few days in Helena proves that point. From farmers and ranchers to agricultural and forest-based businesses to the the energy sector to rural utilities, lenders, economic development leaders, and elected officials, you all have a stake in finding these solutions and addressing these issues. It's that diversity at times which I recognize can really make it what seems so vexing and unwieldy, but that'll also prove to be our greatest strength. Coming together to address challenges like climate change is what we do. It's part of the fabric of America, and it's certainly part of the fabric of who and what we are as Montanans. I don't think that climate change really is just a challenge to be overcome. It's also an opportunity to grow and prosper. The changing face of our energy options means relying on one or two sources of power, it's no longer necessary. And as technology continues to improve, we'll have even more options in the future. Where Montana was once reliant almost exclusively on coal and hydropower generation, we now have a more diverse energy portfolio. That includes wind, that includes solar, mini hydro projects, and natural gas. There's more happening behind the meter now in Montana than ever before in our history. And smart grid technologies such as batteries and smart energy management systems continue to develop. They'll rapidly penetrate the market, and we'll have even more options when deciding the components of our energy future. I view my job as governors to create that regulatory environment that allows for reliable and affordable energy development, while at the same time protecting the strong connection we have to our land and ensuring that we're good stewards of the resources that we're entrusted with. What Montana and America then needs really from all of you is innovative solutions to the challenges of powering a vibrant nation. In that respect, I think our future is in good hands. Each and every one of us also has a personal responsibility to do our part to ensure a brighter energy future. Energy conservation is something that every Montanan and every American can help do to help mitigate the effects of climate change. In Montana, many of our families are realizing there's also financial benefits to weatherizing their homes, moving to more energy efficient heating and cooling systems, and replacing old appliances with newer, more energy efficient models. And as a state, we're doing our part as well. Since 2007, the state's been working to make state buildings more efficient, and by and large, we have, saving about $1.8 million per year in conservation strategies already in place. Yet we still must and we can do much more. One thing really is true. We're not going to get to a lower carbon and energy secure future without vision and commitment. And I think that's a vision and commitment that's grounded in reality, but unafraid of the fact that tomorrow's reality will undoubtedly be different and look different than what today's is. Today, I am more hopeful about our ability to address the challenges and the opportunities posed by climate change than ever before. The work that you're doing here and the work that you're doing in your daily lives is certainly a part of that and gives us all hope for a cleaner energy future. A future that provides us with the power that we need to grow while protecting our environment for generations to come. Thanks so much for letting me hold up your lunch and be a part of today, and thanks for the work that you're doing each and every day to address some of these challenges and opportunities we have in Montana. Thank you.